What's up, guys? Zeus here with another video. Quick reminder that if you do like what you're watching, don't forget to like and comment on the video and press that subscribe button if you want to see more of me. So now, as you can tell by the title of the video, I am going to be talking about the Vile and Sculptor nerfs that are going to be upcoming, and I'd say maybe next week or the next 2 weeks. But before I get into that, I just want to say, isn't this a nice little change of pace? Been doing a lot of just live commentary with me and my clan. Isn't it nice to just have me doing a nice soothing voiceover, ranting about how Netease needs to fix their game? I think it's pretty nice. So here I'm going to show some pre-recorded footage of Violinist and Sculptor. Sorry for Bonbon, he's not making a showcase in this video. Sorry, Ollie. I hate to disrespect your mans like that, but I'll leave you to talk about the Bonbon nerf. But yeah, so the Violinist nerf, put out and simply, is going to make it so that way then his demon notes work like Soul Weaver webs. So what's going to happen is after 40 seconds, no matter how much stacked you are, so you could be a 1 stack note, 2 stack note, or 3 stack note, no matter how many stacks of the demon notes you have, they will automatically disappear after 40 seconds. Now, in my eyes, I'm thinking, why is this happening? Because from what I've seen in my time being a high tier hunter and playing against high tier survivors, they don't have a problem with, just being 18 meters away from each other for like 10 seconds, praying and getting rid of the demon notes. For those of you that don't know what I just stated, that is how you get rid of the demon notes. Survivors, when they're hit, they have to split up and have to be separated by 18 meters, otherwise they will not be able to prey off the demon notes. And Netease's reasoning for making this nerf is because the conditions were too unfair to the survivors. It was not fair for them that they had to split up to get rid of the notes. Despite it being a fairly simple task that only takes about 10 seconds at max, depending if you have to move or not. And now my only logical reasoning for them making this nerf is because, they need to handhold the low tiers. Now, I'm not saying that we need to, just completely ignore the low tiers, because everyone should get better at the game, no matter what skill level. Everyone should have equal opportunities to get better at the game. But I just don't see why the devs are pretty much hand-holding the low-tier survivors and making it so that way then they don't need to learn anything about the hunter, so they know how to counter them. They don't need to do anything to rotate. They don't need to learn. They don't need to have any kind of skill when it comes to kiting half of the time. Everything is just hand-holding. And I don't understand why. And now we're getting to a point where, like, okay, now they're nerfing A- tier hunters now. Because Violinist on a tier list, I would at least put him at best at A- tier. Violinist, in my opinion, even though I'm a Vio main, he gets kited way too hard. He can be easily countered as long as the survivor know what they're doing. And it kills. He can be Cypher rushed. He has no kind of Cypher pressure at all unless you're carrying up-down TP. And even then, with up-down TP, you can still get Cypher rushed depending on the team comp. The team comp could be like 3 Rescuer with a Mechanic, or it can be double Decoder with a Rescuer and a Kiter. There's so many situations and so many team comps that can hard counter a Violinist. The only thing Vio has to help him is his notes. Both that be the note that can do damage and his demon notes that give the survivors debuffs to slow them down. It's the only thing he has to help him kite, and now getting rid of that ability to help him kite by making it automatically disappear after 40 seconds, it just kills. Now he pretty much has nothing. Because the way demon notes were intended to be used, or the way I use demon notes, is pretty much you use the notes in order to make the survivors disperse if they're cluttered at one cipher. Because they can't prey off the notes if they're within 18 meters of each other. So they have to disperse, and with that 15-second range, you would be able to get something out of it. You would be able to either get to the cipher, find a survivor, and knock them. It gave Vio a fighting chance, and now they're getting rid of the only thing that Vio had to give himself a fighting chance. And I just don't like what they're doing, because this game is killing off its hunters. Like, I always see survivors complain about queue times and how, the queue times are too long in this game. Why can I never get a survivor match? The reason why survivors are not getting matches in the lower tiers and even then in the higher tiers is because hunters are starting to quit playing hunter because, put simply, it's just not a fair faction for the hunter. It is still very much possible to win as a hunter, but that's only if you play perfectly. And even then, when you play perfectly, if the survivors are also playing perfectly without messing up, you're playing for a tie at best. The violinist nerf is very unneeded, and it did not need to happen at all whatsoever. It's completely unjustified just to handhold lower tiers. Now, here we're going to move on to Sculptor, everyone's favorite paralyzed girl. Sculptor. Everyone since she came out was preaching about her getting a nerf because she was too OP, she had too much map pressure, she could do this, she could do that, rescuing was this, her statues were hard. Shut up. Put simply, just please be quiet. Sculptor, early game at least, is a very much high skill hunter. Do I think that her skill decreases when it hits late game? Yes, because her statues now have auto aim. They're homing within 30 meters, 32 meters. I don't remember the exact number. But yes, Sculptor's overall is a very high skill to play hunter. You can't just chuck your statues everywhere or you're going to get kited. You're going to get destroyed by whatever character is kiting you. It's just very, it's nah. You can't spam. You need to accurately place your statue so that way then it either cuts off a kiting route or the survivor runs into it. Now, the Sculptor nerf is pretty much that. They're gonna nerf her chisel. Her chisel is now going to, instead of lasting, how long did it used to last? What was it, like 14 seconds? I don't remember the exact number. It takes about 14 seconds, or it lasted about 14 seconds, and now instead it's going to last 10 seconds. And they're increasing the cooldown from 12 seconds to 20 seconds, which means now if you mess up your chisel, you are going to get punished. And for those that don't know what the chisel is, it's the pick that she throws when she's camping on the chair. So yeah, you are now going to get punished supremely for missing that chisel. And do I think this nerf is necessary? No, I don't. Put simply, I don't think this nerf is necessary. Sculptor in no means, in any way, shape, or form was that drastic of a hunter when it comes to her abilities of what she can do that completely made it impossible for survivors to win. In no way, shape, or form did she do this. Sculptor was a very hard hunter to go against, yes. But she is not a hunter that is impossible to beat, just like it is for any hunter. No hunter in this game is impossible to beat. There is always a way to beat every single hunter in this game. But you know what that takes? That takes time. That takes learning. That takes practice. And the thing I don't like about this nerf is that they're nerfing one thing that she had that made her relevant in the meta and killing it. Because she had that cypher pressure, so that way then she could at least last. Otherwise, Sculptor would be like every other chase hunter in this game. Amazing chase, but still gets cypher rush because she has no cypher pressure whatsoever and she can't do anything to stop the cypher rush. And making that chisel have a 20-second cooldown, for those of you that think that 20 seconds is not a big deal, I just want you to look at what they did to BQ. BQ's cooldown was increased by 2 seconds. And that instantly dropped her from S tier to instant A tier. So imagine what 8 seconds of an additional cooldown will do to a hunter who is reliant on cypher pressure. It's just not fair. The way she was originally, I get the statues. The statues, okay, yes. Having them home automatically for a straight up, infinite amount of time, yeah, no. Give them a range so that way then it's not like crazy and you don't just get hit with a statue out of nowhere. But like, look at this match. I got cypher rushed to oblivion even with my chisel. Give or take, I didn't use my chisel that much, but that was because I messed it up. But look at this. I'm playing for a tie right now. Even as OP as Sculptor is very much a tie hunter. Now, people will use the argument, oh, but in China, they struggle against sculptors. People in NAU, we struggle against sculptors. Yes, you are supposed to struggle against a hunter. The hunter is supposed to be difficult for you to win. This isn't supposed to be something easy. This isn't supposed to be something handed to you on a silver platter. This is something you need to work for. This is something you need to try to beat. Not something that you can just, oh, I know I can just hop into the match and know I'm going to win because, they have nothing to do. They can't do anything. Like, no. This game is about winning as a team. It's about using what you have and using your resources. Not you getting free wins because the hunter has nothing to counter this certain thing. In my opinion, every hunter should have something to help them. Whether that be the built-in ability like Blink, TP, Peepers, etc. Or something built into their kit like Sculptor does with her chisel. Them nerfing the chisel is not something that is justified. They are nerfing the chisel because of the fact that in the lower tiers they are struggling. And once again, I do believe that the lower tiers should be helped so that way then everyone learns how to play the game, because I see a lot of people in Discord servers and a lot of people in the English chats talking about, oh my god, this person's kite was so boosted. Oh my god, how did you get to this tier? You know why survivors are lacking in skill nowadays? Because most of these hunters require so much skill to the point where if one fuck up messes you up, it's that simple. Meanwhile, some survivors can go matches on matches getting carried by a teammate, or if not, another two teammates, while they just sit there and cypher rush and do nothing and don't even see the hunter the entire match. So it's not justifiable of a nerf. It's not a justifiable nerf. It's just not. Her chisel was the one thing that they had to give her map pressure, and now getting rid of that and increasing its cooldown by 8 seconds is automatically going to kill her map pressure. Because if she messes up that chisel, she has nothing for the next 20 seconds, and in 20 seconds that's when a rescue happens. You have nothing to help yourself. It's just that simple. Overall, I don't think any of these nerfs were justified. I'm genuinely very upset that these nerfs are coming for hunters that are very easily counterable as long as you learn how to play against them. Turning on your brains, using more than 5% of your brain power. It's just very aggravating for Netease to just hold the hands of the survivors. But anyway, guys, those are my thoughts on the nerfs. Once again, I didn't talk about Bon. Sorry, Ali. Hope you guys enjoyed this little rant. Love you all. I'm Zeus, and I'm out.